Morning, ladies and gentlemen. I think it is just 11 o'clock. Special welcome to Cheryl Gillen. And just if I could go through a few key issues and then invite questions on those or anything else. First of all, our debate tomorrow, as you all know, is on transport and specifically the road infrastructure and criticism that the Welsh Assembly Government, and particularly the Deputy First Minister, seems to have neglected a strategy of improving trunk roads east-west in favour of improvement north-south. Now, there are improvements that are needed north-south, but we can't neglect east-west because most traffic and most business, most people will be coming in east-west. So that is what we'll be focusing on tomorrow, putting the Deputy First Minister specifically on the spot. And he has been, in my view, seeking to escape scrutiny recently, so it'll be interesting to see him actually replying to a debate or speaking on behalf of the government. I assume he is. Labour Plaid administration is misleading people in seeking to pretend that £416 million of cuts in next year's budget can be done painlessly. That's next year. It'll accelerate even on their figures, their published figures already. It'll accelerate in the year after that and the year after that. And still we don't know where these cuts are going to take effect. Keep asking Roger Morgan about them. The answer is too early to say. You know, that would be a reasonable response if we were talking about a small switch of a budget and a very small reduction. But we're talking about 3–4% here. So, I mean, we are entitled to be asking at this stage, where are these cuts going to take place? Well, we certainly have said north-south, things like the Bills bypass, things like the Newtown bypass do need to happen. I don't think we should neglect east-west links into England because they are vitally important for the Welsh economy, vitally important for tourism, vitally important for business and industry. So yes, there needs to be a fresh focus, but above all, there needs to be some clarity of what the Deputy First Minister wants. And you'll hear this complaint from Labour backbenchers as well, that they don't know, what the strategy is. So let's hope we can smoke something out tomorrow.
Can you just tell us a bit more about that, and what else does he, if you like, stand accused of?
Well, okay, I mean, revisiting old territory a little bit, but a couple of weeks ago, and I think perhaps most seriously, and it was even Gareth Jones, his own backbencher, who was chair of the Enterprise and Learning Committee, whose report was being debated, as you'll recall, so presented by Gareth Jones as the chairman of that committee. Everybody, I think, in the Assembly, perhaps barring one or two that Jan might have told, assumed that as it was on the economy, the reply minister would be the Minister for the Economy. Indeed, as I looked round the chamber and couldn't see him there, I assumed that therefore it would have to be Roger Morgan responding, because at the start of the debate, you may recall, he was there. And it wasn't until Roger got up and walked out that I sort of looked around and realised it must be John Griffiths, the Deputy Minister for Skills, responding. I think that was an insult to the Assembly and an insult to Wales, frankly, that Iwan Jones had chosen instead to go to a conference, which he could have sent a Deputy Minister for that conference, had chosen to go to a conference, had not asked for the debate to be reassigned, to be put in another slot, which we would certainly have supported. Liberal Democrats said they would have done too. I think everybody was aghast. And as I say, Gareth Jones said, well, I'm surprised the Deputy First Minister is not here. That's his own party. I find that astounding. Rodri appointed him. It's for Rodri really to answer those questions, but the job includes proper scrutiny, and we haven't been having the proper scrutiny. And so I'm surprised. I mean, I would have said it was out of character. If somebody had said that would happen a year ago, I would have been very surprised, particularly for somebody from Plaid Cymru, I mean, who's traditionally wanted this institution, viewed it as so important for the nation, to try and escape scrutiny here. But it is a serious issue, I think. Nick?
It's been interesting to you as Conservative Party leader. What have been your highlights and perhaps lowlights of the past many months?
Well, the highlight, I mean, I don't think there have been many lowlights since this term. I mean, the highlight has clearly been the performance in the European elections, where we've overtook Labour for the first time ever in Wales, where Labour were, absolutely confident they were going to come top, really, and so were Plaid Cymru, I have to say. So that was undoubtedly the highlight. I mean, and that snatched national news and coverage as you would expect. Says a lot about the state of the party, says a lot about our campaigning strength, says a lot, I think, about the unity, about the way we work with Westminster, the way we work with Europe, the way we work with our local candidates, that it was a strong team effort, Cheryl and I shoulder to shoulder in the epic struggle of the European election, but very, very good results, so we couldn't have been more chuffed. First time we were won in Wales since the Balaclava bounce of 1859, so that was an undoubted highlight. Yeah. very proud.
So just to there were no lowlights.
Not in the last term, no. There may have been some many moons ago, not now. Any other questions? Thanks very much indeed.